record. There we go. And
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand, with your host Dave D.
And welcome to Thailand. Welcome to Paddy, and of course, welcome down here to the studio. Of course, Talking Heads podcast in the studio today. Emil, how are you, my man? Nice to see you.
I'm fine, Dave. Thank you so much.
It's good to have you back in the studio. I mean, when was the last time we spoke? It's quite a long time ago, isn't it?
Oh, probably a year, mate.
Is it? Is it gone that quick?
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
There it went.
It's like you blink your eye.
Blink your eye and another...
You blink your eye and you're another year older, aren't you? Talking of getting older, you celebrated your 80th birthday.
I did indeed.
And you are looking amazing for 80. I've got to say that. I mean, if I looked at you, I wouldn't have thought you were 80.
Thank you.
I mean, because you're like a bit beefed up, aren't you? And you're like, what about exercising?
I do the gym. I go to Chop's gym. I'm not as virulent as I used to be, but I still at least 3 times. And I have to not say I used to do this. I'm doing it, and I know when enough is enough, when the weight, and I...
You know when you've got to stop.
Yeah, and I know as I'm doing it, I know the strength I have for my duration of the train. But it's nice down there, and it's okay. Keeps me not being pompooey, and keeps me in good shape.
Keeps you feeling good.
Yes.
Now, 80, I mean, it's a bit of a milestone, isn't it? I mean, can we be honest here? I mean, I didn't think I'd reach 60, but I'm going back 60. What about you? I mean, we're going to talk about Gamblers Anonymous, all right?
Gamblers Anonymous.
Gamblers Anonymous, there's a mouthful, isn't it?
Even that.
Even that one.
Yeah.
Last time you came on the show, you were good enough to talk about it, and of course, the ups and downs of the addiction of whatever we want to say about that. I mean, how has it gone so far? Are you still going to the meetings? What are you doing?
Yes. In fact, a guy from England, his name's Justin, and he's down in Chontiem, and he connected with me down there. And I actually I've been playing pool on Sundays, so I haven't been able to make the meetings, but I do Zoom meetings all around the world, in different time zones, Australia and America. But he had a physical meeting. We had 4 members at a lovely hotel stroke restaurant in Chontiem 5 for an hour. And that was, it's nice to have physical meetings as opposed to Zoom. You don't get quite the same.
I think the physical in-person thing you can never beat. It's never the same. It's never the same as a text or an email or a Zoom meeting or Messenger or Line or anything. I think when you sit opposite somebody like we're sitting opposite with each other now, it's not the you don't get the sort of like the personal sort of vibes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So you get a feel of, and you can be more into it and be more intimate and read them and read.
And look in their eyes and say, you're not telling the truth, or you're telling the truth.
We have an expression about ball pooping, and I always say you can't ball poop a ball pooper. And they look at me and I'm thinking, yes, I know what you're thinking, because I was there and I'm here now. So just give us 90 days or have your pain back. And I'm now, my last gamble was 7188 at 5:20 p.m. It was a losing bet. And
how long ago is that?
37 and a half
And you
years.
still remember that?
I can. It was like, and that was the pivotal moment, that actual pivotal moment in my life when I picked up the phone and said help. It was I think that's the, I also talk to people when we're doing like interviews, be it on radio or podcast or TV, and there's always that sort of like invisible barrier. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people get when they have to pick up a phone and say, I need help. And I mean, it's like an invisible barrier that it just takes that one big giant step to pick it up, but it can change the rest of your life. Yeah. I gambled for 20 years.
I know you did.
Caused mayhem in my family.
You told me, yeah.
And
but you don't realise that at the time, do you?
No,
you don't realise.
I'm in my bubble and I can't hear. They're all banging on the wall and saying, this and that. And you're losing this and that. And I was just oblivious.
Yeah.
But it's not. And when you stop and you have time to think, it's not about. I wanted to pick up the phone. Something drove me, and it's not about education. It's about need and want. I needed to go, and I want to stay. And not everybody has this. And people come to GA 1, 2, 3, 4 times, then they go off.
But what was? Let me stop you there. What made you pick up the phone? I mean, what was that? What was that thought in your head that went, shit? I'm wasting my life here. I'm blowing every dime I'm getting. You know, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. I mean, let's start straightening this out. You know, is that what you was thinking in your head at the time?
I had 20 years of gambling, 20 years of abuse by people, and then
when you say abuse by people, what do you mean by
family?
Okay,
it's and friends, and seeing what, and you can't see what they see.
I mean, you're wrecking their lives, but you can't see it.
No, I all feel it.
All feel it. Yeah.
One Saturday, 1983, in a betting shop in High Wycombe, Buckinghamshire, the pivotal moment, 250 to 1s came up in an afternoon, and I couldn't believe it. And every gambler wanted to be on a 50 to 1. I'd put the lot on Bosch. I'd win £5 one day and lose seven the next. And that was the moment I could, if it was still there, and I think it is, I could go to the spot where I heard it come over the tannoy. And that moment just said, this is a scam. And then over that course of that weekend, I pontificated, came down. I was staying in my mate's house. I'd been thrown out the house. And I said to this woman, her name was Diana, my friend's wife, I said, Diana, I've got to do something about my gambling. It was as simple as that. I picked up the phone. And how strange was that? For all 20 years, it came down to that point, and 250 to 1. And, you know...
Do you think it's like, you know, I mean, it sounds a bit stupid what I'm going to say, but it maybe sort of like makes sense. Do you think you was like in a self trance for that period of time, that you just was oblivious to everything and you was just going straight ahead, you know, bull in a china shop and just wrecking everything in your path, but not seeing the devastation that you was causing? Do you think that would be it?
You are in your bubble. I stole
bubble. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I stole everything in creation because I had to have money. You're just, for me, gambling's an emotional disorder, and I came needing, stayed wanting. I read the 12 steps. I could probably recite the book backwards that I've read a million times. I've been all around the world.
But don't you get it when you're like, you know, when you're like running out of money and then you've got to go and sell one of your possessions or sell something you've worked for before just to get some more money to put on another bet. Don't you see that?
No,
right.
And the feeling of, actually, I was sharing this at the meeting on Sunday, that when I came out of the betting shop, after the bookmaker you never saw because he was in the back room,
right.
he'd steamed clean me yet again, and I then had to exit without him seeing me. I'd go out into broad sunlight, invariably with no money, having to go home to lie, to create, and try and find more money to gamble. Obsession beyond comprehension.
Do you think within the family there's a place where they didn't believe a thing you ever said?
I didn't know that it had to be. You're a habitual liar. You had to lie.
Yeah.
You had to lie to continue. And it's no different to drink, no different to drugs. For me, it was just that singular thing. Gamble. I gambled for the world.
So here's a question for you. I mean, being into the gambling, what you've been in, and now you're in the group that takes care of other people as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about the gambling law coming to Thailand? What do you think about it? The casinos that are going to be built in Thailand.
My friend who lives on this estate, he's parted with his lady, Thai lady. She gambles for the world, but they won't admit it. They gamble like...
Oh, I mean, they gamble everything, but they're going to... There's 4 places at the moment. You know, there's Phuket, there's Pattaya, and 2 in Bangkok that have now got permission to be built.
I didn't know.
Yeah. What they're saying is what we get, because they have a committee of 34 people in Bangkok dealing with this, yeah?
All right.
And one of the things they're saying is that the Farang people can walk in and do what they want in the casinos, but the Thai people are going to have an ID and also be vetted to make sure they have the money to gamble, because as we know from past history, after being here so long, and I know from banks and I know from all the different people, they've got drawers and drawers and drawers of chinoots, you know, which is the papers to their houses and everything that basically they've gambled away and lose it on the World Cup, or they lose it on whatever they lose it on, and then it takes them a lifetime to pay it back and get it back. Do you think that gambling will be a good thing for Thailand or a bad thing for Thailand?
Oh, no.
I mean, that's a good question coming from you. I know it's a good question to ask you, but I want to see it from your side as an ex-gambler, what you would think.
As I know what it does,
yeah.
and at the level I gambled in the UK, it's and with I've been coming and going here and know the Thai thinking, it would be devastation for them.
I think so.
Absolute
I think
devastation. They don't know what's coming.
I think it's going to be like an atomic bomb going off.
Yep.
I really do.
They will be. It would be a magnet for them. They will go there and it will destroy families, people.
This is where it's going to fall down a bit. This is where it's going to fall down. They say that the Thais are going to have the ID, the casino ID from the card to get into the casino because they've been vetted to say that they can play in there. Well, you know and I know this is Thailand. I mean, there'll be probably a $5 down the market to buy, and they'll be able to get in and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to cause humongous devastation. I really do.
Beyond, and I don't know how they'll justify it once the true facts start to come out years on, and the damage it's doing. There's a woman, can't remember, I was thinking of her, I saw her the other day, she started in a garage, and they gave her a CBE. I think she paid herself £460 million. That was her salary. Well, a well-known named betting company.
Right.
And that was from one woman, and she took that. And where did the 460 million come from? The likes of me.
There's only one place that wins.
Yeah,
you know that. Okay, some people do win, and some people do make a living out of it, but they're playing the odds all the time. It's a false security.
Yes.
Let me put it that way, because I've won, I'm up this year. But then they don't tell you about the year that they were down and they lost millions. They don't tell you about that. And you only hear about the thing that you do in gambling, or what I've known over the years, is you only hear about the wins.
Oh, yes.
You never hear too much about the losses.
Right. And what I have now, I have money. That's why I'm here in this room.
Yeah.
Because two guys came together in 1957 in America.
Yeah.
Actually, I read it in the book, one of the GA books on Sunday night. It was a chance meeting of two people who realised they had the same problem, and that's how GA started.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
And then it came to came from America in 1957 to 1964 in London. Chance meeting of two other guys, and GA started there, and that's where I joined it in 1983. And although I stopped in 1988, I went to live in Los Angeles, started to gamble again. Then I came back to the UK in 1988, and I had my last bet. But what I have now is simple four-letter word: life, and to not be beholden to being dragged by my nose daily, habitually. And a lovely little story. A friend of mine outside GA invariably got talking to this old boy, and the subject of gambling came up. He said, "Oh, you gamble?" This guy said, "Yeah." My friend said, "How long have you been at it?" He said, 52 years. And that is a long time.
Yeah.
But I've been around the table and I've heard many stories. And my friend said to him, I still smile. He said, "You can't win, And I would have gambled what he was going to say. He shrugged his shoulders. I wouldn't have gambled. He shrugged his shoulders and said, I might as well carry on. So therefore, he was 70 odd. He gambled for 52 years. He started when he was 20. And he will get in his wooden jacket and achieve nothing.
Yeah, sure.
So he'd been to prison, he'd been this, and he did that, and and I might as well carry on then. From there, I learned utter gratitude that wasn't my ilk. I did my 20 years
and got out. What about your health? Because we were talking a little bit before we came on air about health. I think I don't know what my health is compared to yours. But, how are you doing? How's your health wise?
I'm I feel good. I where I live. I've got a swimming pool. I live in Nampлагуа, and a little village. I swim most days. When I'm in Crete, I swim in the sea.
Nice place.
Sea's blue, the sky's blues, and
beautiful Crete. Been there, loved it.
It is, and you get breeze come off the sea to the beach, and what else I do? And I do yoga. My self-taught yoga. I've been to India, and
do you do a lot of meditation or anything?
Yeah, I meditate most days, and I look up. This body, this machine, is paramount in my life,
100%.
And you have to look after it
I
without question.
I think one of the things I thought with me, I mean, you know, that I had a couple of heart attacks and about 3 strokes.
I know.
I mean, it's not good. But I think what you do and what we don't realize is the devastation you do to your body by the shit you eat. You know, I mean, everything out there has got so much stuff in it, you know, that we just don't realize what we're eating. You know, I mean, there was somebody on the other day who I watched a program on, it was on McDonald's fries, and there was about 100 ingredients just in a fry, just to keep it as a fry. Yeah, you know, it was crazy, you know, and the preservatives and additives that they put in all this stuff. We all do it. I mean, I was a DJ around the world, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know, so you eat all the crap in the day, you drink all the rubbish. And, you know, I wasn't a drinker, but I lived on Coke. You know, Coke, the drink.
I'm just going to come in there. A friend of mine in that bar, which is in Plague he's overweight, he smokes, he's invariably always ill, and he drinks Coke perpetually.
Yeah.
And I remember years ago we put, I think, a threepenny bit into
That's
Coke.
right, and it cleans it.
And it cleans it like, what does it do to your kidney? And I say, Paul, I'm your friend. This is a suggestion. Stop drinking Coke. But no, he doesn't. No. And have you seen the signs of the Coke lorries? They'll have a massive, and they'll have a trailer, also massive, full up with Coke. You might as well drink, I don't know, hydrochloric acid.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that I've got to say is this. I was addicted to it.
Really?
Because I didn't drink any alcohol. I wasn't a drinker. I didn't start smoking until late in my life.
Right.
But the only thing that was keeping me going was the music. I was playing the music. I was high on adrenaline from the music of the nightclub.
Yes.
But on top of that, I was getting the sugar intake from the Coke. So I was high as a kite.
Yeah.
You know, but I was addicted to it. And when I got the stroke the first time and I cut down a little bit, I got withdrawal symptoms from it. Because I knew that I did it, and then the reason I knew is because I could feel in my body it wasn't right. So I took a glass of Coke, a small one. I don't drink a lot now. I drink a small Coke, and I drank it. And within 5 minutes, I just felt great again.
There you go.
So I thought, you know, this body's sort of conditioned to get, and I'm sort of weaning it down now a lot.
What I've learned in these latter years, been there, seen and done it, etc. You have to teach yourself things. When I eat now, if there's a massive meal dumped in front of me, I won't eat all of it. I'll eat a third of it, take the rest home.
Yeah.
And I learn not to feel bloated. And everything I eat...
Little and often.
Everything I eat, I say thank you. I say thank you, Mr. Pig, or thank you, Mr. Cow,
right.
Thank you, Mr. Potato. And I changed my whole thinking about food. And
interesting.
And I enjoy. It's the enjoyment of eating. I have more now than really got bulging.
Just like being waffling it down and thinking nothing about it.
On Christmas Day, they say I'm stuffed, and then they fall asleep. But no.
But you do. I mean, besides so you're being careful of. Are you drinking still or not drinking?
Yeah, I'll have
many.
No, I'll have one Singha or one cider. Actually, I had half a Guinness the other night. Quite expensive.
Is that it?
And then when I go to bed, I might have a Samsung with from 7-Eleven.
They say that helps, doesn't it?
With a bit of ice, and that's my
That's
lot.
it. And what? Okay, so what about on the food side? Are you on any kind of diet, any kind of supplements, or are you just watching what you eat?
Just watch what I eat. When I stay with my daughter, if you want to recover of anything, go and meet my daughter. She lives in southwest Scotland. She got me on ketosis.
What is this?
it's really good, and it really no sugar, no carbs, no this, no that. She's in great shape. She's 57, and ketosis. You can look it up, but it really is. But I'm off it now. I've just eaten ratatouille, seafood noodle, but
right.
I left virtually all the noodles. I ate the shrimps and the green stuff and the carrots and squid things. So, yeah.
What about detoxing? Do you believe in that? Do you believe? I mean, I take these powders, these kiwi powders, and you take it, and it's like sludge when you drink it. But I mean, well, it is. It tastes like kiwi, but it looks like sludge. In fact, I'll tell you what it looks like. Remember, you used to cut the grass,
yes.
and you used to end up with that squashy green.
Oh my Buddha.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like that in the. But to be honest with you, I gotta be honest with you, it clears me out totally,
really?
and it makes me feel really good.
Well, if it's doing you good
Yeah.
and it's not harmful, I'm for it.
One of the things I'm getting is sometimes I get the breathing is a little bit hard, but I've found out that that's trapped wind.
Right.
It's trapped inside of me, so now I'm making myself
Yeah.
burp and all this
Yeah.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it's beginning to ease off. I was told by the doctor, burp as much as you can, or get some tablets to make the air
Burp.
come out. Yeah.
Because your body,
Excuse me.
the body wants to act normally. Breathing, and in meditation, we start with
And what kind of meditation do you do?
I've got an app called Calm, CALM. It's quite cheap out, I think about 35 quid a year.
Right.
And it's quite ironic. Some day it has a theme subject, whatever it is, and invariably some days I might be down for a moment, and this subject, whatever it is, this theme, this 10, 15-minute meditation, is perfect for me. And afterwards, I'm great. I just I've been injected with a new life.
What is that? When you say, is it talking, or is it just music, or?
Yeah, he talks. His name's Jeff, and I think there's 3 or 4 of them, but I like Jeff more. But when I have a problem here on my right, and it comes to here, and then I send it out to my left. I say, no thanks. I kick it out, and that's.
Was it CALM?
Yeah, calm, CALM, calm. And it helps you deal with subjects like that might be clogging you up. So it comes in, I look at it, I thought, nah, I don't like that. And I send it on its way. And then it's not here.
I think...
And it's such a nice feeling.
I think one of the biggest things in my life from, doing traveling all my life, doing what I did, I think the biggest shock I ever had, was the last time when I felt downstairs. I was outside with a friend of mine, getting the groceries out of the car, felt a bit tight, sort of had to sit down. And,
right.
I think I've just had like a mini something, whatever. I don't really know what it is. I thought it was like a mini stroke. So I sat on the sofa for 2 days, and I couldn't lay down. When I laid down, it was like I was drowning.
Right.
So I had to sit up, and by the second day, it was getting really bad. I couldn't go anyway. So I said I need to go to the hospital. So we went down to the Queen's Med, the Navy Hospital.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Such a hip.
Yeah, I go there all the time.
Really?
Fantastic people. And I walked in, and this doctor was there, 25 years old. I said, "This is the way I feel." Within 10 minutes, there was like 15 people around me. Yeah, he says, "Come on, we're going to get your body scanned." And he was away for about 10 minutes, and he came back to me. I told him my name. He knows all my name. He'd seen me on the TV and done some whatever. He looked at me in the eyes. This is like a 25-year-old kid. You've got to remember, I'm 63, 4 at the time. Yes. He looked at me. He says, "You got 4 hours to live."
Oh, really?
I went, "You got 4 hours to live." He says, "Your lungs are 70% full of water, and the left-hand side of your heart is blocked." And I went, "Where's the table?"
Right. Get the knife.
Get the knife and get me to that table quick.
Oh, my Buddha.
So I was actually within walking in the door to being on the table and having the stents done and cleaned out and drained and everything. It was probably about 35, 40 minutes tops. I mean, that's how, and then, of course, I went into the ICU and all that. But I think that was the, when somebody tells you that and looks in your eyes and tells you that kind of thing, like you with that defined moment in the gambling thing when you go, what the am I doing? And you stop and you say, hey, I need help. I think I seen that in a way where, Jesus, I've got to stop what I'm doing, refine what I'm doing, and retune and recalibrate what I'm doing. Exactly. And I think that was a defining moment for me.
Higher power brought that.
I think so.
A higher power brought you to him. And that was perfect.
What a guy.
And I don't do God, but I
don't do God either, but I do believe. I believe there's something.
HP, yeah.
Yeah, I believe there's something that's there. That's sort of like, sometimes. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had this deja vu, when you think something's happening and you go,
I've been here before.
I've done this, and I've sat in a place before. This is really weird, and this is God's honest truth. I've sat in a place eating some food, and in my head I've gone, "Oh, there's a woman going to come in a minute with a pink coat." She walks straight through the door, goes to the bar, and 2 minutes after that, the woman walks in with a pink thing on and goes straight to the bar. Yeah. And you go, "That's weird," but then of course you just forget it. But I believe there is powers.
There's something there.
There is something there, but I'm not a God man like you, but I believe there's something there, and like you with your health now and that at 80, I mean, you're basically fine tuning yourself again, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm seeing it out. I'm aware of Lord Death, and every morning I wake up and I just smile and I thought, I'm here again. And like tomorrow, my team will play.
Who's your team?
The mighty Wycombe Wanderers.
Wycombe Wanderers, okay. That's the football team, yes?
It is.
Because I know nothing about football.
Okay, Wycombe Wanderers Division 1 in the Football League.
Well, that sounds good. If it's one, anything with one in is good.
And we want a 1 tomorrow. We need a win desperately. Okay. It's a real cruncher.
Is that when you go, how far, is it in football, is it relegated, isn't it?
Yeah, you get relegated or promoted.
How far away are you from that, or are you staying in
No, we were number 2.
Oh. Hello.
Forever and a day, and then Saturday we lost at home.
Right.
And the team below us, they won. So we have a game in hand. We're playing tonight. Right. And if we're to win, we will be level with them, second, and they will be third on goal difference. Our goal difference is, you might not follow this.
I've been to one football match in my life.
Yes.
Which was back in 78, 79 or whatever it was. And it was Leicester City versus Newcastle at Filbert Street.
All right.
Because I was from Loughborough, so I was near Leicester. And I was there for about 25 minutes and went home. It just wasn't me.
I know. It is or it isn't. But it's in Britain. And I did a podcast for Wycombe Wanderers the other day.
You did one?
Yeah.
And what is that? Are you applying to be the goalie or something? Or
No. I was watching Google and a podcast of, it's called Singing the Blues came up. That's their colour.
Okay.
Blue and blue quarter shirts. And I thought, why don't I ring up? So I rang up reception, and I said, we'll put you through to, I'll pass the message on to Phil. Can't remember his surname.
The presenter guy. Oh,
yeah.
Right, okay.
So he comes back to me, and the first thing he did, he looked my name up, and he said, "Oh, you were connected with Brian Jacks." I said, "Yeah, I counted his dips so all those years ago."
Was it Superstars?
Superstars. He's down the road. He's just round the corner from me, and so that was good. So I followed them now I remember being 8 at Wembley, or roughly about 8, back in 1953.
Right.
And I followed them. It's inherent in me. It's just there.
It's just part of you.
It's what supporters do, and it's really getting tense now. But it's a lovely feeling between games that you've won or what's coming, and it just keeps you.
It's the same thing, is it? It's an adrenaline rush. It's the up and down adrenaline rush, isn't it? It's the roller coaster.
Dave, you won't believe what I enjoyed Saturday. I'm in the bar on my. He gives me my television in the corner on the wall, sat there, and
away you went.
And then somebody really had a serious in the stands, and the game stopped. And he said, "I'm sorry, I've got to close the bar." I said, "Okay." So I went back home, and then realised we'd lost in the 78th minute. We had a goal. And we lost 1-0. So that was a bit of a blow, but we had the game in hand, and it's in our hands.
So is it looking good for you?
Yes, it's in the lap of the gods, but or in their feet, and they've got great resolve. I love their resolve, and we had a lovely forward, an Ivorian forward called Richard Kone,
right?
And he didn't play, and he wasn't even on the bench. and he had an illness where I'm yet to find out.
So was your podcast, was it done over Zoom or did you?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that about? What did you actually?
I talked about Wickham,
Right.
colours, favourite team,
Right.
hopes and whys and wherefores. Nice guy, and I enjoyed it. So I'm doing them all the time. I'm doing one now.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
do
good.
two every. Excuse me, I do two every 20 years. No, I've never done. Etc. Etc. It's your way of life. So
It is. I mean, it's the thing that I like about this is, number one, I like to talk.
Yes.
Right. It's as simple as that. I like to get to know the people that come on the shows. I like to hear the stories because everybody's got a story.
Oh.
Everybody, you know that at the end of the day, everybody's got a story. Some, of course, are more interesting than others, but I do like to listen to everybody's story. And I've always, from the age of 14, when I left the UK, I've always been this kind of person that never uses a script. Never in my life have I read anything off a piece of paper. Okay. I just done it all by myself in the way that I'm doing it now, and I just think you get the more natural feel to what you do.
Probably, and you get more out. You get more
out of them. I mean, there's sometimes I've asked in the past pretty famous people. I've just gone bang with a question, and I've gone, and in my head I've just gone, shit, I shouldn't have said that, and then. Because you say it in the back of your head, but then they go, by the way, I did. So then you get a massive response from it, and you go, now we know where we're going. So then it leads into something else and leads into something else. But it's pretty cool.
It's a lovely feeling.
It is, and I mean, it's good. I mean, one of the ones we did was the naturist people in Thailand, the nudist people, believe it or not.
I'm a naturist in Crete.
Oh, okay. Well, I did it. I did it in other places, but. The one thing that I liked was the guys that I know came into the studio and we spoke about it, and the response that we got from it was phenomenal. I mean, there was about 32,000 views on YouTube, but the reach was about 3.5 million.
My Buddha.
And it was just crazy that there's suddenly all these messages kept coming through and going, and even some of my friends, well, I do that. I've been there, or I've done this. I'm thinking, you never said that to me before. So it was really good that this thing came out, and it was, I just think that it's, and for me, when I went to the nudist beach, believe it or not, I went there on a doctor's advice. And it's going to make you I'll just bore you for 2 seconds.
No.
All my life, I had eczema and asthma. So my skin used to scab, it used to bleed, and I'd scratch my eyes in the morning, they'd bleed. I'd get up in the morning and my head would be stuck to the pillow because of the blood, all those kind of things. And I ended up seeing this doctor, and he says, you need to go in the sun. You need to get in the sea. You didn't need to wear any trunks or anything, because the sea, if you go in the sea with your trunks on, the salt's going to get in your trunks, and you're going to stand there itching on the beach, and everybody thinks you're going to have something wrong with you.
Hello.
And I went, okay, I've got that. So I went, because I was a DJ, I didn't care anyway. And within 6 months, 13, 14 years of eczema was cleared up.
Gosh.
And I went to Switzerland and I got a bit of treatment there for it. But within 6 months, my skin and all the eczema that I had was gone. And believe me, when you've had eczema like that, it's a massive relief.
You talk to Thais about taking your clothes off. They fall out their tree. They can't do it. The actual Thai women, and even the men. For me, I love it. It's freedom beyond comprehension.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, where I park in South Crete, a place called Suya.
Okay.
I go up through the mountains, take water as I go in my camper. And then it's quite funny, there's a taverna there, and there's a biggish beach, pebbly. I build arches
right.
out of stone, and I have a form, and I build the stone, and then I carefully take the form out, and people say, how do you do that? I said, I don't know, glue, and they're looking for the glue. I said, it's magic. Oh, tell me. And I don't. And they take pictures, they get on the floor and take pictures through it. And where I'm when I arrive there, it's not I want the position right next to the tree, virtually next to the taverna, so I can get their Wi-Fi. So I might be up there, and as people move in time, I move down till I get to my allocated spot, and that's it. Out comes the awning,
and that's
down
it.
goes it. I'm home.
I like it. I love it. And you know, I mean, there's no, you know, if nobody's ever done it, I mean, there's nothing on this earth that's more natural, and it's so how you say free.
I'm
free mind, free body, free everything.
I'm in at 6 a.m. The sun's just nicking over the
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah,
over the point, and it creeps up, and then I go and I swim. And like I said, the sea's blue. You can see your feet.
Yeah. I've been. I know it.
Of course
I
you do.
know it.
And but my daughter's told me about another island called Kythera, which is 4 hours ferry ride away from Kissamos, which is where I'm based.
Right.
And I will do that. I'll
cool.
put my van on the ferry, and then I will do that, and then I will go on the ferry to Turkey.
So the question is this on your bucket list?
It is the bucket. It's a good film. I've seen that. The two guys.
Great film.
It is.
Morgan Freeman and.
I can see him. He was in Jack Nicholson. I love it.
It's a great one.
It is.
The Rich Man and the Poor Man.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah, it is a great feeling.
Good. Right, for you guys out there, we're going to put on the CALM, the Calm, yeah? We'll put the link onto the Calm on the video later when we post it, okay? So people can click that one.
Gamblers Anonymous.
Send me the links and let's put them on, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, please. All right, listen, it's been great to have you in the studio again. Have you enjoyed it?
Dave's Rave, it's lovely. And it was a shock for you to tell me that you'd had, just like in passing, oh, by the way, I've had two.
Yeah.
But you're resilient, and resilience is paramount.
I think my resilience and my stubbornness is a thing called family. That's the thing.
That's cool.
That's the
driving force.
That's the driving force.
Fabulous.
That's the driving force.
Good.
Great, lovely. Hopefully we will meet again. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Good.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand, with your host Dave D.